Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. That's black mold. This is my hot water tank. It's the cause of the black mold. This is the people who install it that I pay rental fees to. Now they're called Enbridge. And when I bought the tank, they said they warranty everything from the shut-off valve onward. This is where the water is coming in. As you can see, it's a problem with the solder joints, and it's stressed, so you can tell. And it's great. I love it. The black mold is an extra feature, and then when I called them, they didn't want to do anything about it. So I bought out the tank for $400. The rental fees totaled about $3,600. So all in total for this nastiness, I spent $4,000. I could have bought 4 brand new hot water tanks for that much money. But you know, when you're young, you buy a house, a lot of money going out, automate your bills, and that's how this hell happened. So we're gonna do in this video. We're going to clean up some of this stuff, and we're going to cut this out, find 290s. Hopefully I have them, and if I don't, well, we're going to go get them, and we're going to solder in, and then we're hopefully going to fix this nastiness to get rid of this, because it doesn't need to be here anymore. And I'll use this pipe here to fix up here, and then probably that pipe there to fix up here, because this is not going into the garage that way. I want to tie it up somewhere else so it's all nice and neat. So this is actually shut off and it's not being used anyways. That being said, we're going to go into a time lapse where I'm going to open up all of this and see where we're at. So to do this, you need your 290s, which I found in the bottom of my toolbox, some lead or solder, your flux, your torch, your cleaner. I got a little Scotch-Brite pad and a wire brush for the inside of the pipe. You know, just normal stuff like that, average Joe. Anyway, so we're gonna cut this. You'll need your cutter, which you'll see, and we're gonna cut it here as close as I can get it. Clean it up right down there. You can see it dripping a little bit, and then up top here, I'll cut it, and then we'll see. Might even sweat it off, which means I'll just heat it up with the torch and take it off. I'll do that actually. It'll be better for the video. First thing I did was shut off the water. Let everybody in the house know the water is going to be shut off, and I also let them know what I'm going to be doing in case something happens. That being said, I started cleaning the joints and then heating them up to sweat them off. I started with the top one because that was the easier one, while the bottom one was still had water in it, and I was having issues with it. So I did drain the hot water tank a bit, and eventually I got it to work. And I thought all the water was off and out. I was wrong on that, but I'm going to prep everything anyways and get it all set up so that we can resolder them back together. And yes, you could reuse the 90s, but we have 2 new ones that we're going to use or utilize and get those into place. And then that pipe there that I talked about, I'm going to cut that off, put that into place here, and utilize it because it's cheaper and I already have it, and if I don't use it, it's going to go in the garbage. So next thing we do is put all the flux on, we heat it up and start soldering it. Okay, so you can tell right away that I had no issues with water. No issues with water. I let this solder come out like that kind of on purpose because I was having issues with water up here and issues with water up down here. So now I'm in the situation where I got to get that water out of the pipe or burn it off. And one of the things you can do is, before you even start, is to put bread down the line. I didn't do that, so I have a bit of a problem here. So I'm going to mess around, see what I can do. I thought I had all the water out of it, so, well, yeah. It kills your ability to solder at that point, and you're back to square one. Alrighty, let's see if my work is any good. Well, yeah, she's cold. And this only has to hold for like a month or so, because I plan on moving my hot water tank. It is a bit shoddy. Again, I had water come back through this way. Not sure how that happened. Thought I had it all done. And the same thing right up here. I had water show up there. Otherwise, my solder joints would look a lot better than this. But you know what? They're holding. I'm all right with this. This is good enough for now. As you can see, the people before me weren't all that great either. So You know what? Fair is fair. And I don't do this every day. Probably haven't done this in years. Alrighty guys, you can see, clean out the mold, taking off some of the drywall there. Well, part of the front of the drywall. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about my questionable content, please leave them down below. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Peace.